Hey guys, so for my birthday I ended up getting a Sweetwater gift card and I used that to buy the Strymon Deco. The Deco ended up coming yesterday and thanks to my mom I got that gift card. And I could have bought any pedal that I wanted, but the Deco seemed to be like a pedal I've wanted for a while and I've just been putting off and had the perfect reason to get it now. In the opening you heard me using it as a tape-based flanger. And what the Deco is a tape modulation effect that can do tape-based flanging, saturation, and chorus, and some other things like double tracking, a slapback. One of the reasons I really wanted it was for these tape-style modulation, because it can do a really cool tape-style vibrato. I'll let you listen to that in a second. In the opening, I used a inverted mode where the modulated signal is inverted with phase inverted with the incoming signal. So there's a point where it'll reach a 0 point and the audio will kind of drop out and it sounds really neat. Let's listen to that again really quick. You hear those little dropouts, especially with the Bloom reverb algorithm on the Big Sky. I should mention before we go too much further on this, I'm not going to go over a lot of the settings. I'm just going over the things that I figured out with owning this for about a day and a half now and playing with it, and what I like about it. So yeah, I talked about the modulation, so we'll go over here to the sum mode, which instead of inverting it, it sums the modulated and unmodulated signal together, and we'll turn the blend over to the modulated only, so we get a vibrato, and we'll turn the wobble way up. So the wobble is your LFO, and it is random, which is kind of unique and awesome. So all the chorusing and flanging effects will have a random LFO instead of a predictable one like a sine wave or a triangle wave. Dry signal, and here's just the blend all the way up to the modulated. One of the cool reasons and why I wanted it. If you turn the modulation down, let's do halfway. Turn it up just a little. You get some nice pitch modulation for those tape style wobbles. Oh, that's what it's called, the wobble knob. So yeah, really cool sounding. One of the reasons I want to use it. Alright, let's talk about the sum mode and using it as a chorus. Well, you can use invert or sum. I'm going to use sum. We're going to make it a chorus. The lag knob is or lag time knob. It goes from negative 0.3 milliseconds all the way up to 500 milliseconds. So how the negative works is what it'll do is it'll take the lag deck and make it faster than the input buffer, so kind of a weird effect or way to explain it, but that's what it does. Yeah, we'll turn this up. So for chorusing we need a longer time, so let's do that in real time. I'll hold a note, turn it on. We'll switch this back to a blend of both a dry and wet signal, or unmodulated and modulated. Turning up the time, and now we have tape chorusing. Makes a lovely tape chorus. If I switch the invert on that, you'll get a little different character. And now we can switch to the bounce mode. If you're listening to this in stereo, you'll be able to hear that. It adds kind of a ping-pong feedback effect to itself. Well, it's not really feedback. It just, well, it is, because it feeds the modulated and unmodulated signal back into each other with a phase inversion, from what I understand. But yeah, if you're listening to this in stereo, you'll hear that. So yeah, I think that sounds awesome. There's a lot of features I haven't won over, but kind of what I really like. It's got tape saturation. I use that in the opening. It adds some, in this case I have this turned into something called studio mode, so it has a lot higher headroom, so the tape saturation isn't as pronounced, but it still sounds nice. So just adds a little bit of upper end harmonic distortion to it, and it sounds great. Especially when you're using it as a flanger. So now we add that reverb and it sounds awesome. Again, the bloom mode from the Big Sky. Don't want to play too much of that because that's a song I'm working on too, so listen for that soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really enjoyed the Deco. I think I should have bought it quite a long time ago because I think I'm going to use it on a lot of my tracks moving forward.